News on top of the hour.
Live from our studio in Georgetown.
Kaieteur Radio, 99.1 FM.
Good day, welcome to your news at noon on Kaieteur Radio. I'm Kevin Smith. With significant declines in the non-oil economy reported by the government in this year's half-year report, the APNU-AFC opposition believes the presence of the Dutch disease has been confirmed in Guyana. On Tuesday, the opposition spokesperson on economics, Elson Lowe, said the document highlights early signs of the Dutch disease, as indicated by the fall in sugar, rice, fish and gold production, as well as a reduction in manufacturing output. What this means is the non-oil sectors are not performing. The economist noted that the decline in performance of Guyana's major traditional sectors is alarming and requires attention. The Dutch disease is a concept that describes an economic phenomenon with a rapid development of one sector of the economy, particularly natural resources like oil, leads to a decline in growth of other sectors. Additionally, Lowe posited that as Guyana continues with its plan to speed up the production of oil and gas, the revenue stream from these operations must be safely secured and managed sustainably. Not only that, but Guyanese must enjoy the comfort of assurance that the wealth generated from their patrimony is being put to good use, rather than drained by those appointed to act as the watchdogs of the fund. He explained that there are a number of steps that must be taken immediately to ensure that the Natural Resource Fund or the oil account is protected. He believes that corruption and theft have been two sore plagues that Guyana has lived with over the years. But with the nascent petroleum sector already streamlining profits, the economist warns that the losses from these ends can be monumental. An August 2022 report by the American University Center for Latin American and Latino Studies in collaboration with Inside Crime, a non-profit investigative journalism organization, has placed the spotlight on Guyana's lack of protection for 99% of its territorial waters. As a result of not being able to properly patrol its waters, the report states that Guyana suffers from significant illegal, unreported and unregulated fishing practices, thereby impacting populations of finfish, red snapper, prawns, sea bob, whitebelly and tuna. It was keen to note that Guyana does not have the resources to fully patrol its waters, adding that Guyana has just 9 vessels and 180 active sailors in its joint Coast Guard and Navy. And in other news, a passenger did not make it home on Tuesday, and a driver will never make another trip after his Route 44 minibus slammed into a parked canter truck at Good Hope, East Coast Demerara, killing them both. Dead are Andrew Albert and Annalisa Laken, a mother of 2. According to police, Albert crashed around 13 hours 1 while driving along the Good Hope public road. Based on information, Albert was trying to overtake a pickup along the northern carriageway of the East Coast Demerara Highway, but there was a collision. As a result, he lost control of the bus and it crashed into the canter truck, which was parked beside the road before toppling. And now let's tell you, police are currently investigating what they believe is the murder of a man whose charred remains were found on Monday at Snake Farm, Yarrow Cabra, along the Susdike-Lytton Highway. The only information detectives were willing to divulge is that the victim was a missing West Side man who that should be a West Side man so as to not compromise the ongoing investigation. The discovery was reportedly made by some young boys in the area. According to reports, the remains were found in a clump of bushes with a pair of Air Jordan sneakers still on one foot. Police also found a bunch of keys, a wristwatch, leather belts, and what appeared to be a pair of burned denim jeans. A drop wound was also seen in the victim's skull. And just before we head to a short break, responding to the Ministry of Public Works invitation for bids for the construction of a storage bond and a workshop at the Chedi-Jagan International Airport, a total of 10 contractors applied for the job. This was released on Tuesday during the opening of tenders, which revealed that the construction works at the airport are estimated to cost $37 million. And at this time, we take a short break to bring you a few short messages and return with your news.
This is GHK Lal inviting you to join me weekdays from Monday to Friday on the National Outlook for commentary on a range of issues. Immediately after the 12 noon and 7 p.m. newscasts on Kaieteur Radio at 99.1 FM and 99.5 FM. Looking forward to you sharing in the conversation.
Welcome back. Let us continue with the news. Although several alleged carjackers were recently placed behind bars, cars are still being stolen. According to information, another car was stolen on Monday at Paradise, East Coast, Demerara. Everton Blackman, a security officer, said that his Toyota Carina 192 car, bearing number plate PJJ 5079, was stolen from his home sometime after midnight. The matter was reported to police. So far, an individual has come forward claiming that some boys were taking the car into Maka on the east bank of Demerara. It was just 2 weeks ago that East Bank police recovered 7 stolen cars in the backlands along the Linden-Soosdijk Highway and arrested 5 suspected carjackers. Meanwhile, the body of 28-year-old Hemnorine Chandradio, a fisherman and father of 2 who went missing after reportedly being struck by lightning while out at sea, was recovered around 11 hours on Tuesday by some fishermen. At the time, it was floating in the waters at Mahaika. In other news, opposition leader Aubrey Norton has filed a notice of appeal against the decision of acting Chief Justice Roxanne George Wiltshire, in which she ruled that the chairman of the Police Service Commission and chairperson of the Integrity Commission were lawfully appointed. The Chief Justice had determined that both chairs were legally appointed on August 23rd last, in a case which Norton filed challenging the appointments. The opposition leader had also challenged the appointment of the PSC, which the Chief Justice found was not lawfully in place. As a result of the decision, Norton, through his lawyers Royce Ilford and Selwyn Peters, is seeking to appeal part of the judge's determination. Meanwhile, GCOM chairperson Claudette Singh has voted to release documents related to the claims by the opposition that there were certain documents that purport to prove the claims of fraud at the 2020 regional and general elections. Government-nominated GCOM Commissioner Sesgan Raj, in a public statement via his Facebook page, disclosed that Justice Singh voted to release the document despite fierce objections of opposition MPs. And at this time, we close things off, as usual, with the page 7 of today's Kaieteur News, dedicated to being blunt. Fear no man, only God. Although in some quarters it may be trendy to embrace lies and deception, there will never be a day that these will replace truth and righteousness. A society will remain entrenched in the vilest of conduct when the principal propagators of the trendy ways are those tasked with being its leaders. It pays no dividend to subject yourself to the unrighteous dictates of leaders, regardless of how powerful they may think they are. Once you stand up for what's right, the creator of the universe will, before long, bring the corrupt and wicked to their knees. According to chapter 29 of the biblical Proverbs, when the godly are in authority, the people rejoice, but when the wicked are in power, they groan. A just king gives stability to his nation, but one who demands bribes destroys it. The godly care about the rights of the poor, the wicked don't care at all. When the wicked are in authority, sin flourishes, but the godly will live to see their downfall. Fearing people is a dangerous trap, but trusting the Creator means safety. And that brings us to the end of today's News at Noon. I'm Kevin Smith. Thank you for listening.
Want value for your advertising dollar? Then place your ads on Kaieteur Radio's newscasts. Stream